Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Good morning. Today is January 5th. Happy New Year, January 5th, 2025. My name is Tina Bickford, and I am an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! Here in the US. Um, I like making cards. And thank you for those of you who are following me on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would love it if you would just click on that subscribe button and follow my channel. And if you click on the bell button on YouTube, you'll also get notifications every time I go live. Welcome. Good morning. So if you are here live watching, leave me a comment, drop me a comment, let me know that you're here. If you come back and watch the replay, leave me a comment. Good morning, Lynette. Um, so I, how is everybody's new year? I am I'm less prepared for this video than for any of my other videos. So this week, we found out that our dog has been waking us up in the middle of the night to go and get water and go out and go pee and just all kinds of stuff. So we took him to the vets, and well, he has diabetes. Um so there's that. So we've been trying to work through all of that. Let me just adjust my glasses so maybe that reflection will go like there. And we have just started him on insulin. So it's been a heck of a week, and we will see how all of that goes. So I did get a couple of alternates made, and I I don't know why it says biting either, Lynette, but it's you. So I guess I knew what you meant. Um, Thank you for joining this morning. I'm so glad that you could. So last week's video, we did a card that was demonstrated by my upline, Susan Campfield, who is an absolute inspiration to me for my card making. And we have very similar styles, and I love everything that she makes. So she had a request to make a card that someone had seen on Pinterest. And Susan redesigned it with the measurement so that it would fit in the standard A2 envelope. And she demonstrated it and she showed all kinds of um, alternates to it. And I just fell in love with it. And the card itself is very easy to make. Um, yes. Well, so now Uncle Eddie can come over and help give Bo his insulin every 12 hours. Is it every 12 hours for Eddie? Um, Good morning, Mom. Is Dad watching with you? Good morning, Dad. Um, so in last week's video, we made what Susan called the bandstand card, which is really, it's easy to make, but it's just got such a wow factor when you open the card. So it was in the landscape mode. It was in the landscape version. So the horizontal version, card making is called horizontal, so it's a horizontal version. And she also did measurements for a vertical version. So I thought it would be fun to do that one today. And if I can get through the card fast enough, I actually cut enough to do 2 cards. I don't know if we'll get through 2 cards, but I got all of my card swaps back. So I joined a card swap for December. The theme was a celebration. So Stampin' Up! Has a promotion coming up, starting this coming Tuesday, January 7th, and running through the end of February. And it's called Celebration. And if you place an order for $60, or if you place an order for $60, you earn free product. There's a little celebration brochure that lists all of the available product. If you don't have one and you want one, reach out to me and I'll send you one. And so this card swap was all about SALE-A-BRATION products. So I want to show you guys those cards that I got. So there were 32 entries for the cards, for the card swap, and I only submitted 2 sets. So I only got 20 cards back. So there's 12 more cards, and I'll try to figure out how to put a link to Rachel Tessman's video for oh, I didn't tell you that part yet. So I submitted 2 cards. Good morning, Lisa. Oh my God, how cold is it in North Carolina? I was thinking about, it's always cold up here, but it's like extra cold down there for you guys. And I think you told me a snow in the mountains or something near you? No snow up here, thank God. Because me no likey the snow. So anyway, I submitted 2 cards, and oh my God, 20 degrees, Lisa. Oh yeah, I don't know what it is here. What is it? Oh, 23 degrees here right now. So we're right there with you. We're actually warmer than you. That's funny. So I submitted the 2 cards, the 2 card swaps. I showed you guys in past videos what those cards were, and I wanted to go over them with you, but one of them actually inspired Rachel Tessman to do a mystery stamping online class. And how exciting was that? That was so exciting that my card inspired this Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. She's been a demonstrator for 20 plus years. She lives out in Minnesota, and her cards are just amazing. Also, I'm so inspired by Susan and Rachel, honestly. But it was such an honor that one of my cards inspired her to do an online class. So super exciting. I will try to figure out, because there's all this technology, I will try to figure out how to put a link to her video in the description of this one so that you can actually see it, because I am like super proud that she chose one of my that she was inspired by one of my cards. So yay, I'm so excited about that. So what do I want to do? So I'm going to flip down to the desk cam, and when I do, we're going to just go over, I want to just recap the cards that we did last week because they're super cool and I like showing them off. And then we're going to jump right into the card that I have designed for today's class. I may even have you vote on which, because I have everything cut. So I may have you just vote on which one you want me to make. So let me just switch down to the desk cam, figure out how to do that. You know, me. Okay, here we are. So these are the Bandstand cards. So these are the ones that they lay flat to fit in an envelope, but they open like this. So it's got this dimension when it stands, and the person who gets this card is going to think, oh my God, that's beautiful. So we did these. We have this one here, and this one, and this one were both made out of that new paper that's in the mini catalog, the wildflower birthday paper. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I love all of the colors in it. The pool party and the pretty in pink, and the peach pie, and I think this is blueberry bushel, but how beautiful. And with those gold accents and all of that paper, like that's so gorgeous. Okay. And then we did this one here. And this one is just using a frame from the what is that one called? Wildflower Designs, but adding some of those elements from that wildflower birthday. And this one, I did, this one this is a stamp set that's also coming out in that mini catalog, called One More Day. One More Day. I really don't. Yeah, One More Year. So I really need to learn what all of those stamp sets are called. But this one's really cool, and I added a little bit of Wink of Stella to the wine in the wine glass. Nice. And then this is another stamp set. This one I believe is an online exclusive, and it's geared more towards, it's like a wedding. It's like classic wedding, I think it's called. It's really cute. It's a very unique stamp. It's called the distinctive stamp. So when you stamp with this one, and we'll play with this one in some future videos, you actually get that variation in color. So that's nothing that I did. I just stamped it in the ink and on the paper, and there you go. Like you can see the variation in the color, like in the window. That's all done with just the stamp. So that one's cool. And this is one that I did with the window sheet in the middle. I know that you can see that glare on there, the window sheet there. But when it stands, you know, you don't really, when you get it, you don't notice that window sheet so much. So that's makes it look like that heart is just floating. So there's those ones. There are those ones. Use your proper grammar, Tina. Okay. So let's just vote on some colors real quick. So this is the paper and ink that I chose for these cards. So the first card is got, there's a black card base with this beautiful paper from, this is also in the mini catalog that begins on Tuesday. This is called Beautiful Bokeh. Beautiful, beautiful. And I hear people online saying that it can be pronounced either bokeh or bouquet. I'm going to pronounce it bokeh because that's what I want to do. So this one's the black with the balmy blue, beautiful bokeh paper. There's a window sheet in here, some white elements. And then I have this one, which is very vanilla cardstock. And this paper is also in the new mini catalog that starts on Tuesday. This one is called Timeless Plaid. And there's plaid on one side of the paper and like a gingham on the other. And there's different patterns to this one. Let me just see if I can grab that. I've used some of this, so I'll just show you what some of the patterns are. You can see them. Beautiful colors in here. Beautiful. And you get some blues and greens with some coral. And the Lost Lagoon, which is one of my favorites. And this has got some pebbled path and crumb cake in here. And this is the one that I cut, that one there. This one here, and you can see if I flip this over, that they all have different plaids on the back. So very, very nice papers, very good for like masculine cards. Masculine cards are very hard to make because, you know, they're masculine cards. So, you guys tell me, do you want me to do the crumb cake card or the balmy blue? Which one do you want me to demonstrate? And I'm not going to tell you what I have picked out for the element for the front. So you guys just pick the color. What do you want? What color do you want to see me demonstrate? I'll give you a few minutes while I grab some supplies. I have a vote for the plaid. Let's see. 2 votes for the plaid so far. All right, well, let's do the plaid then. We got 2 votes for the plaid, so let's do the plaid. If we can get through this fast enough, the plaid one, then maybe we do the black one. I'll try to pay attention to the time. All right, so for the plaid one, what I decided to use is this heart-shaped bundle. This is a SALE-A-BRATION. Oh, of course, of course, Lynette, you want the balmy blue? All right, well, I'll try to get through these so that we can actually do the balmy blue too. So the heart-shaped is a bundle. This is a SALE-A-BRATION set. If you place an order for $120 during the SALE-A-BRATION period, you can earn this bundle free. And when I say bundle, it's not just the stamp set, but it's all of the dies also. Super cool. I love this. I love this one. So it's very fun and very delicate. I love this die, which is actually the one that we're going to be using. All right, so let's just set some stuff aside. I'm going to grab the measurements because I have everything cut already. So let me just set this here so that you can see what we have for measurement. So right now we have, so I'm starting with the card. Don't lose that window sheet. Starting with the card base. It is 4 1/8 by 5 1/2, and I've scored it at 3/4 and 3 3/8. Now it's really, if it makes more sense to you, it's 3/4 in on each side. And then also for the same colored cardstock as our card base, we need 2 strips that are 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch by 5 3/4 inch, and you need to score it at 3/4 inch, 2 inches, 2 3/4 inch, and at 5 inches. So you need 2 of those. And then we need our window sheet. And I'm going to show you one of the samples that I did make this morning. I'm not using a window sheet. I'm just using a solid element on the front, like some of those other horizontal version cards. But we're going to do the window sheet on this one. The window sheet is 1 5/8 inches across by 4 inches long. And then for our designer series paper, we need one piece that is 2 3/8 by 5 1/4. And then we need also in the 5 1/4 inches long, we need 4 strips. 2 of them are 1/2 inch and 2 of them are 5/8 of an inch. So you can clearly see that 2 of them are wider than the other 2. And then we need, oh, that's right. For this one, I didn't finish cutting these pieces. That's all right. So I just have to cut these pieces here. And the reason I didn't cut them yet is because I actually decided I was going to use a plain cardstock instead of having all of that plaid going on. I thought this would break up the plaid a little bit. So I'm going to just cut these pieces real quick. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut a 1 inch piece. So 1 inches, and then I need 6 pieces, 4 and 2. So they're all 1 inch, 1 inch wide, but I need 4 that are at 1 inch and 2 that are at 1 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the 1 1/2 and 1 1/2. And then I'm going to cut as many 1 inch pieces as I can out of here. I think I'm only going to get 2. Yep. The 2. And then I just need 2 more pieces that are 1 inch by 1 inch. So cut that 1 inch, that aside. And what's nice about this paper trimmer is that you have up to 1.5 inches on this side. Oh, sorry about that ring light. But up to 1.5 inches on this side of measurements, so that because it's easier for me to hold the paper on this side when it's a really small measurement. So that was really good thinking on their part. All right. So we have those little pieces there. And then for this one, because I'm using a lighter colored cardstock, I wouldn't need a piece on the back to do writing and stuff with. If you were using a darker color cardstock, you would want another piece it's actually the same size as this DSP. So it's that 2 3/8 by 5 1/4. Now I did decide that I was going to do that anyway and maybe stamp on this before I glue it on. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So if you want to, I don't know if you are on a phone watching, or, you know, if you wanted to take a screenshot of those dimensions, you can do that. Okay, and then let's get right into it then. All right, so we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to grab these pieces that have scores in them. And I'm going to set this window sheet right up here, right up on the on the dimensions so that I can actually see it. Good morning, Lillian. All right, so we're going to take this card base and we're just going to fold it and burnish those folds. Excuse me, right on those score lines. I'm just going to burnish them real good. I'm going to do the same thing on these pieces. And in one, maybe even a couple of my past videos, I tell you, when you score the cardstock, you do get one side, the side that you're pressing down when you're scoring, that one is debossed, basically it's debossed, and the other side has a raised or embossed edge. So you always want to fold towards that raised the raised side. It gives you a much cleaner, sharper fold. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm just going to press on all of those, give them a good press. Do the same thing with this one. Like so. Like so. All right. And then we're going to do some layering. So we're going to grab some of our DSP. We're going to need, for this card base, we are going to need our 2 3/8 inch piece and our 2 1/2 inch pieces. And we are going to layer them in here. So I'm just going to put this on my glue on. I'm just turn this sideways a little bit so that I can see it a little bit better without getting my head or anything in the way. We'll do that. That right in there. That color looks so nice on that. And then for these, each one of these is going to be centered in these 2 little side panels. So, sorry, I'm just taking that DSP in order to pick it up without getting my hands all covered in glue. I'm just kind of sliding it off the desk, which is out of your camera view. So I apologize for that. And there. And we're going to put this one on. And that will just take a second for that glue to set. So while that's doing that, we're going to take our long, narrow pieces and we're going to put our crumb cake cardstock on there. So we have 4 that are 1 inch by 1 inch. And we have 2 that are 1 inch by 1 1/2 inch. So the middle section on each one of these panels is actually larger than the two side panels, and the two sections that are on the very end are going to go around to the back, so we're not putting anything on there. So I'm just going to we're going to put a little bit of glue on our crumb cake, and I like doing, I don't know if it's just my OCD or what it is, so I like doing the two center pieces first and getting those put on there. And I'm just centering it right between the score lines. So you can see right between the score lines. And I'm just going to let that glue set. Do the same thing with this one. Just pull that. Okay. Just, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Just slide this right there. And then we're just going to do the same thing with these 1 inch by 1 inch pieces. There's going to be, am I still on the camera? I'm not even on the camera. There you go. I'm going to put, there's going to be one on each side here. So we're just going to do that. And do the same thing. You're just centering it between the two score lines that are on there. I'm actually going to use my take your pick tool to pick up this darn thing. And put it over here. And I already have glue all over my fingers. That's all right. I wouldn't be me if I didn't have glue all over my fingers. I'm just going to pick this one up so that I don't have to try to pick it up when it's already covered in glue. Maybe that's probably a better idea. There's a little hack for you. How's that? You can pick up your piece before you put the glue on so that you don't get covered in glue. All right. So there's our two little strips. A little bit of extra glue there. I'll have to get off after. All right, so this is our back panel. Those go on the back. So we're going to go ahead and put our two strips on. Now, if you wanted to put some kind of an element on the inside here, for whatever reason, I mean, if you're using a window sheet and you just wanted to put a label on there and you wanted your focal point or focal point element to be on the back part, this would be the time to do that because it will be much harder to do it once we get these panels on. I am going to have mine on the window sheet. So I'm going to take these two panels. I'm using my tear and tape. This is just double-sided tape that's really super easy to tear. And I'm just going to come in here on the very edge of each one of these panels, right up close to the edge. I'm just going to put a little piece of, oops, get on the camera, little piece of tape. Ah, yeah, and it's sticky because it's sticking to my finger. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. You just want to make sure that you're not too close. Now, I got tape over here. I'm not worried about it because when I pull that release paper off, I'm going to be able to fold that right back. That is the beauty of this tear and tape. Although it's really sticking everywhere here today. There. And there. All right. I'm just burnish those down with my finger. And I'm going to take my take your pick tool because for me it's easier. And I just come in under on the side. I just come in under on the side and just kind of run that along, that take your pick tool along until that paper releases. And this is the one that I was overhanging on. You can see that. All I'm going to do is just fold that right back on itself and voila, fixed. All right. Now, I have been making quite a few of these. I would recommend that you don't take the release paper off until after you have it lined up when you're doing the first ones that you're doing. So we're going to take our card base, and because these strips are both the same and there's no directional pattern on here, so there's no directional designer series paper that we have to make sure everything is upright. It's not going to matter for this card which way I put these on. So we're going to line up the top edge of this to the top edge of our card, and we're going to line it up center between these two score marks. Now you want to make sure that you're not right on top of the score mark. If you did all of your measurements right, you're going to have a little bit of just a fraction, maybe 1/32 of an inch. Like it's barely there. That's going to allow your card to fold in nicely without bunching up. So I'm just going to set it down on the table, and I'm lining it up to the edge here and in the middle here. And once I have that lined up, I'm just going to come in and fold those flaps. So now I have one side done. We're just going to go ahead and do the same thing here. And this one, I will not put the I will not take the tape off until after I do this. So I'm just going to come in here again. Let me see if I can put, let me put a piece of black paper under there so you can see that a little bit better. There. So I'm just coming in and I'm taking this and lining this up here, lining it right up to the very edge so that they are right up against each. And you can do this too. You can just kind of tap it down and make sure that it's there. And if you're comfortable, you can hold it in your hands. So you can, I didn't take the paper off on this one yet, so I can just fold that over, come in here, line it right up, lay it on the table, hold it, I'm holding it down, and then come in here and just remove that release paper and stick it down and stick it down. And there we have now the base of our card. Isn't that beautiful? Already so cute. All right. So now we want to add our window sheet. For our window sheet, I almost forgot where it was. I put it on the dimensions, the sheet with the dimensions. So for our window sheet, now you can use whatever you want for adhesive. I recommend something like a double-sided tape because it's a window sheet, you know, some stuff it's not going to stick to it. So I have found the best things are glue dots or the tear and tape. The liquid glue, not so much. So I'm just going to come in here with my tear and tape, and I am going to put a strip right on the very edge. Right on the very edge. So the same thing here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. Right on the edge. And then I am going to burnish that down with my fingers. I'm going to go ahead and take this release paper off both sides. And I did the same thing on this side. I got a little extra hanging over. So I'm just going to fold that over on itself. You're not going to see it. Fold it over. And then this is going to fit on the back side of this. So I'm just going to tuck this up. You can do whatever you're comfortable with. You can just do one side and then stick the other side. So I'm just going to come up just enough so that I'm hiding that tape and I'm centered between the two score lines. Now, you just want to make sure you're nice and straight. And I'm not pressing it hard just in case I need to reposition it for some reason. And I'm doing the same thing on the bottom. And it looks good to me. It's nice and straight. It's between my score lines. Actually, this side I'm going to move a little bit over. Like so. So it's nice and straight. Now I'm just going to press down and give that a press so that tear and tape sticks really good to that. So now we have our window piece. Okay. All right. Before we put our elements on the front, because that can make it more difficult for you to do, you know, if you're going to do any stamping or anything on here, it makes it a little bit, if you're adding dimension. So we're just going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to take these two pieces of our designer series paper, our patterned paper, and I'm going to come in here and put some glue on each side, and the glue will dry. I mean, it takes, you know, it's a few seconds. So if you want to do both at the same time while you have your glue open, that's all right. So one fun tip about this glue here is if you let this glue, I love this glue. If you use it while it's still, you know, wet, it's permanent. If you let this dry on your paper until it is clear, it becomes repositionable. It's very, very cool. So I'm just going to come in here and add these to the sides. Now, when I'm adding this to the side, I'll show you in just a second. I'll bring it up to the camera. So I'm coming right in here, right up to that piece that we taped over, that we flapped over here. I'm right on that edge on both sides. Well, not so great on that side, but as straight as you can get, right on that. So that's what we're doing on both sides. And I'm lining it up so it's even on both ends. So I've got the same border even on both ends, coming in right at that. I know this one you can't see as well. So this one, oh, would help if I was on the camera. So this one right here. Okay. All right. Now, if you wanted to stamp on an extra piece of paper, like if you're not comfortable stamping directly on here because, oh my gosh, you just, you know, I just went through all this work and I stamped on this and it smudged all over the place. Just do like this, put a little extra piece, cut a little extra piece, do your stamping on this, and then, you can just glue it on, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to add dimensions or anything like that. You just glue it on. It's just an extra layer. It also, especially if you're using a thinner cardstock, this particular vanilla cardstock is a little bit thinner. So this will give it a little bit more weight and structure. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my block. So this is one of the acrylic blocks from Stampin' Up. I do love the blocks that have the ergonomic design. Well, you guys have watched enough of my videos to know that I'm usually covered in ink, and this is part of the reason. Although I'm still very talented that I can get covered in ink using one of these. So let me just see. So Luann, when you get your kits, because you got some kits, you're going to get this block. It's thinner, but it's a nice size. I don't know if I hold it it's the same size as this one. It's just a little bit thinner. So you know what? Let's just use this one, because I'm going to get covered in ink anyway. I don't know. Like, there are people that can stamp and not get covered in ink. I don't know how people do that. I really don't. So I'm just going to take my, this is a photopolymer. This is the photopolymer, is the one that you can see through. I'm going to take this one. I'm just going to place it like face down so that the smooth side is up. And I'm going to come down with my acrylic block on it and pick it right up. Okay. Now let's ink it up. So I'm going to take my ink pad. This is Crumb Cake, and I'm just going to gentle tap in here. You want to make sure that you don't want to press hard in there, because this pad it's a foam pad. So if I press hard enough, I'll press the photopolymer right into the ink pad, and I'll get ink all over the block. So nice and you know, you can tap all over, kind of all over the place, all over the ink pad, but nice and gentle taps, and that will be enough to ink up the photopolymer stamp. And I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to stamp right there. Just a nice, even pressure. I'm not pressing hard. I'm not rocking the block. I'm just nice, even pressure. And I'm leaving it there just for a second to let that ink kind of soak into the paper. And that's what you get. Okay. So let's just close that up. We're going to use that again, but you know, and I thought I felt my finger go in the ink, but I don't see any ink on me. So I don't know. Maybe we did it. Maybe we did it. And then I'm just going to put my glue on there and take this piece. Now, again, because we don't have anything on the front of our card, I'm not going to worry about if I'm getting this on upside right or not, which is another good reason to do your back first if you're going to be stamping anything on there. So I'm just going to come in and place that in the center and just nice even border all the way around between those score lines. And that's it. That's the back of your card. And this is where you could sign it. All right. So this is, now we're at the front. So for this, when we're putting our elements on, now we have a direction that we have to be cognizant of, because this, we don't want to put our elements on this way and flip the card over and this is upside down. So we want to be very careful that we're putting that where we need it to go. All right. So I am going to take this piece of Very Vanilla and I am going to cut. So to clean, I just wanted to put this too. So to clean your stamps, I use this because I have it. I use this Stampin' Scrub. I have had this Stampin' Scrub. I actually have 3 of them. I have had this since I was a demonstrator back in 2000 or whatever, 2002 or whatever. You just, you take, I take the top part that has the label on it. The back has no label on it. So I have, and this, the ones that they have now may even look a little bit different than this. So I take the, whatever is the cover, when I open it, this is the side that I spritz with my, my Stampin' Mist, which is just a cleaner for your stamps, cleans and conditions. So I will spray on this side. So this is my wet side and this is my dry side. And then you just come in and you don't have to, you know, get right in there and press hard. Just a nice, gentle, you can kind of move it in all different directions to get all that out on the wet side, come over on the dry side and just give it a little dry. Now, a paper towel with a little bit of water on it works just as well to clean your stamps. And then these just peel right off and it's nice and clean and it goes right back in my case. All right. So I want to do a label on this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do My Heart Loves Your Heart, because I really love that one. So I'm just going to come on here. Now, with these thinner ones, these ones that are really thin, you can actually bend them and make them a different, like you can make it look like it's in an arch, which is kind of cool. I'm going to put this on a label that I die, or I'm going to die cut it out of here. So I want to make sure it's straight. And the easiest way to make sure that you have these thin ones straight is to lay it down so that it's face down. So the smooth side is on the top here, and that you can actually read the words, and let it just be in its natural position, and then just come right on top of it and pick it up while it's still straight like that. Okay. So I'm going to get back into our ink and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to tap it gently. It's this stamp, the photopolymer stamps are very thin. Let me just see if I can, like, they are very thin. So you don't need to press very hard at all. You're going to pick up ink that's right on the top of that ink pad. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up my ink and I'm going to come in here and stamp. And I'm just, now these thinner ones, these ones that are like long and narrow, these are, it's hard not to rock them, but You can't rock them. If you rock them and you have any ink at all on the border of your stamp, around the border, you're going to have that border around there. What I like about the photopolymer stamps is that you can see through them, which means you can see exactly where you're stamping, which is kind of cool. I like the red cling ones because you can get a lot more detail out of the red cling ones, but you can't see exactly where you're stamping. So, all right, so I'm not worried about this being a little bit crooked on my paper because I am going to die cut that out. So I'm going to let me just set this aside for right now. And I'm going to grab my die. I'm going to put that on there. And I have a Post-it somewhere here. Sorry. So I just took, I like to think I'm a little thrifty. So I just took a Post-it pad when it got down so that it was thin enough and I cut it. So some of these thinner dies, I don't really need to use a whole big long Post-it. And I just need the sticky. So we're going to line that up. And I'm just going to put my Post-it on there to hold that die in place. Now, I think I want to do, we're going to do this heart. And I think I want to do this heart in, I don't know, I don't know. I thought I wanted to do it in the crumb cake, but I think I'll do it in the very vanilla because there's a lot of, like if I were to put a crumb cake heart on here, I don't know. I feel like it might be too much crumb cake with what's going on there. So we'll do the very vanilla. All right. So we've got that one in place. And I'm just going to use my bigger Post-it to hold this guy in place. Although this one doesn't really, I guess this one doesn't really matter. I won't use a Post-it for that. All right. Let me just move this aside. I know that you guys have seen this before. I'm just going to try to move this into your view so that you can see it again. And I'm going to set that up on there. So this is the Stamp Cut and Emboss machine. This is how I get all of those beautiful die cuts and embossing on my cards. So to do die cutting, we need the base plate, which is 1, and we need the plate 2. And then you're going to need 2 number 3 plates. Those are the clear cutting plates. It shows you exactly what you need right here shows you what you need here on the base. And then once you cover the base up with the plate you need for the dies, you no longer have the instructions for embossing because you don't need this plate for embossing. So you just get the instructions for the dies. So this is actually not one of my Stampin' Up plates. This is an old plate that I just grabbed. And I'm not worried about all of the cutting marks in there because, you know, I don't have to, I'm not. So you want to be careful when you have a plate like this that has a lot of cut marks in it. You want to be careful with any cardstock that you're doing because this will make an impression in the cardstock. So the bottom of this cardstock, there'll be impressions from that. So you want to be careful that you're not doing that for anything that's like a gold foil or something like that. We're just going to place those on there, put our number 3 cutting plate on here, and we're going to roll that right through. And you do want to make sure, so part of the reason for the Post-it notes, and some of that, let me move that out of the way. Some of the reason for the Post-it note is you want to make sure that when you have your dies, that they're not overlapping each other, because you will break your dies if they're overlapping each other when it goes through that machine. So ask me how I know. Don't ask me how I know. I think you all know how I know. And then, all right, so we got this. My heart loves your heart. And now we've got this beautiful heart. So one of the things too that I could have done with this die before I used it on something so intricate. Oh my goodness, you guys, I just poked myself with that. Oh Lord. All right. You can run this through your machine by die cutting a dryer sheet, and it will be just enough to help loosen this up. I didn't do that. So I'm just going to come in here. There are all of these little release holes in your dies, and I'm just using my take your pick. It doesn't have to be your take your pick. It can be, you know, tweezers, a toothpick, whatever you have. and just poke those. It helps to release that paper a little bit. And then I'm just going to come in with one of those areas, and I'm gentle. This one is very, very delicate. So I'm just coming in here gently, a little bit at a time, just releasing that dye. Like, boom, like almost there, almost there. One more there, like that. How beautiful is that dye? Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Love it. All right. So we are going to put these on here, and we are going to use our glue dots for that. Now, I'm going to put the heart here in the center. The glue dots that I use are not going to be seen from the back. So I'm not worried about, gluing them on the, where on the back, but I do need to know where to put the glue dots on the front. So I'm just going to pick some of these bigger leaves and sections, and I'm going to put those on there. That said, it's still pretty tiny. So I'm going to get my glue dots here. I'm going to take my glue dots and my take your pick tool, and this glue dot is too big to use on this. So I'm just going to come in with my take your pick tool, and I'm just kind of folding it up, making a little ball out of it, just on the top of my take your pick tool. I don't know if you can really see that very well. And I'm just going to come in here on the back and put it on like this section here. And if it looks like it's showing it all, you can just kind of tuck it in a little bit more. And I'm just going to do that with another one. So roll it up on my take your pick tool. And this area down here seemed to be a good spot. Now I'm just going to do the two. I just for the purpose of this video, I might go back later and put more. Actually, I'll just put one more. I'll put one more on the, roll it up. Right on that tip, and I'm going to come in here on this side, somewhere on this side. This looks like a good spot here. All right, now I'm just going to come in here. I'm not going to press hard yet. I'm just going to figure out where I want it placed. This looks about like center, and then I'm going to just come in here and gently press down on those glue dots. Now we have to decide where we want the sentiment. So the sentiment can come here on the center, which I really like. This is what I had thought. You can put it on the bottom, you can put it on the top. If you put anything at all on the top, you want to make sure if you have it centered in the middle, you just don't want to put any glue or any adhesive of your choice beyond those two score marks, either on the top or the bottom. Because if you do, then it won't allow, this will be glued down and it won't allow your card to open properly. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to actually use some dimensionals, which I did not get out. Oh, I did. Haha, I did. I just grabbed them. These are dimensionals actually. So I got a kit, one of the kits that I got. Actually, the kit that I got, I made, what was it? Birthday card organizer. I actually bought 5 of them, and I did them for mom. This is the, was your Christmas gift. And so I did one for my mother, and I did one for my sister and both of my sister-in-laws. And I made cards for everybody in the family for them to put in there. And when you buy a kit, you get everything you need. You get, if the kit requires dimensionals, you get dimensionals, you get glue dots. These glue dots have little release paper on them, obviously, because you don't want them sticking all over the place. So you get glue dots. You get embellishments. These were all of the extras that I had from that kit. So you get all of these, fun embellishments and all of that, everything you need to do a kit. So if you're new to craft making, or if you just want some kits that you do, you need to do some quick cards and you don't have a lot of, you don't want to invest a lot of money in all the things like the ink pads and the cardstock and the take your pick and the bone fold, like all of that, then you can just invest in a kit. Because if you get the kit, you'll get literally everything you need to make the cards that are in the kit. And when you do that, you also get, you'll get a little ink spot to go with there. So a small ink pad that goes with it, not the full size one, but you'll get the ink pad and you'll get actual stamps, photopolymer stamps that come in the kit. Those are things that you can, with that and all of the extra adhesive, you have stuff for more. Oh my goodness. Look what I did, you guys. I was talking and I wasn't paying attention, and I put the dimensionals on the outside of the edges of the sentiment tag when I just told you guys not to do that. Haha. See? All right. Well, that's me. So I'm not going to be able to peel that off very good, so I'm just going to peel it off best I can. And I'll put one in the middle. And no one's actually going to see it because, it's going to be down. And if they see it, it's because they're twisting your card all around and, trying to figure out how you made it. So I'm just going to come in here now the right way and put one in the center. Silly. And then I'm going to put that on, take that backer paper off. I'm going to come in and I'm going to put this in the center, just like this. And it's going to stick to the center with that one dimensional. So it adds a little bit more dimension to your card. Now you can do, because I dug this out, we have embellishments that we can use. You can put other embellishments on here. Now they do say that you put your embellishments on in odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, whatever. I did a couple of cards today. I only put 2 on. I thought it looked fine. It's all up to you. So it's supposed to be, the odd numbers are they're more visually interesting. I'm not sure who did that study. I'm sure it's true. But I'm going to do, I like to be a little bit even. So I'm going to do 2 and 2 there, and I'm going to call it a day. And this is our card. Just like that, little bandstand. It looks like the heart is floating. So yeah, if I hold it like that, you can see a little bit of reflection with the window sheet, but it looks like your element and your sentiment are floating. How stinking cute is that card? All right, let's just look at a couple of the others that we did. So in last week's video, I gave you a little teaser for this card by showing you these 2. So there was this card here where it looks like the hearts are floating and the sentiment tag. And this paper is more from that Wildflower Birthday that's coming out in the mini catalog on Tuesday. We'll just pop those up. And then this one here, this is using some of the embossing folder from the Beautiful Butterflies and some dies from the Beautiful Butterflies. And I don't know what that paper is from. So this was a card a card kit that actually came to me from my upline, Susan Campfield, as part of her we are called her Stampfield Divas. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called, but we're divas anyway. And when we have our team event, we all get to make a card. She sends us all of the components we need to do that, all of the material we need to do that, with the exception of anything that's stamped, because we're not supposed to send elements that have stamps on them. It's for I can't find my words right now. Copyright. So Stampin' Up's copyright. So so these ones all have the elements that look like they're floating, which is really cool. This one looks really good. I really like that. I think maybe I might do a little bit of embossing on this crumb cake if I were going to make this one again, just to give that a little bit so that it doesn't look as plain. I just thought, and I don't know what your thoughts are, you can tell me, but with that plaid, there's enough going on there. So maybe that's all right. So you don't have to have a window sheet though. If you wanted to do, and if you don't have a window, if you don't have acetate hanging around, it's just another thing you'd have to buy to make this card. So why not give you an option to make this card without acetate? All you just need an element on the front. So this one, it opens the same way. It folds flat to fit in a card, in an envelope. And this one is just I just did really simple colors. This paper is from that beautiful bokeh, and just some basic black and some basic white. And this is from a stamp set also in the new mini catalog coming out. I've been playing with my new stuff. So this is called Delightful, hold on, Delightful Wishes. And it's two-step stamping. So you actually stamp each of these individual colors separately. So this stamp right here, this whole flower image is a total of 4 stamps. Cool. So there's that one. I don't know if I can fit all of those in there. There's that one. And how are we doing on time? So we're at an hour. If you guys want to stick around with me just for a few minutes, we can go through my card swaps. So let's just move those aside, and I want to grab the card swaps. So the 2 cards that I submitted for the swap, and I think you will see that we have yeah, Luann, I love that crumb cake one. Isn't that beautiful? So I did these 2 cards for my December card swap. It was to highlight the SALE-A-BRATION sets. So this is the set that we just used. This has that same real delicate die cut piece there. And then this is another SALE-A-BRATION set called Pick a Season. So these 2 cards I submitted. This card right here is the one that inspired Rachel to do an online class. So I'm so excited about that. Let's just show you. And it's only 20 cards. Sorry for all of the noise. It's only 20 cards because I only submitted the 2. So you get 10 cards back for each set that you submit. So I won't open the cards, but let's just look at them I'll try to do this without all of the glare. They're all in clear envelopes because that's one of the things you have to do. So this one, So this one is from Pat Stewart. And this is paper that's in, I think that's SALE-A-BRATION paper called Toadstool Gardens. So that's hers. Oops. You know what? Let me just, see if I'll put it over there. You can see it a little bit better. There's not as much of a glare on it. Let me just move that ring light over a little bit. It'll be a little bit darker, but at least not as much of a glare. So this one, same thing, using that same set. This one she just stamped. And then this one uses an embossing folder called Starstruck. Beautiful. And then this is actually some ribbon that's in there. This is a Fresh Freesia seam binding ribbon that seems to be pretty popular. Oh, geez. All right, we're going to open them up so you can see them. I'll just try to do it quickly. This one is from, who is this one from? D. Clowater. So it just opens like that. And then this one opens like that. Okay. And then this one, and this is the reason I wanted to open them, is because this one's cool. The next one's cool too. So This one is from Don Pomerang. And this one is using that same Toadstool Gardens, but there's also a matching stamp set you can get in a bundle with a punch. It's a punch bundle with the mushrooms. So cute. And this one opens this way. This goes like this, and then this side opens up. I think they call this a flap fold. How cute is that? She put this mushroom on dimensionals. So cute. Look at the little pink snail. Oh my goodness. So cute. So cute. And then another one with that toadstool. This one is from Rose Carey. And this one has, look, those really pretty gold butterflies on there. So cute. This is the same, using that same paper and stamp set. She actually embossed in gold embossing powder here on the, I don't know if you can see that very well. Yeah, there. And then it opens like this. So her whole scenery is over here, and then you actually write over there. I mean, I suppose you could write on the back too, but right there. Super cool. Unique design. I like that one. That one's from Rose. And then this one is from the Papered Prairie, Candace Johnson. I think I actually follow her on Facebook. So this one is using, I think this is the hearts, adorned hearts or something like that stamp set. I think this paper is the SALE-A-BRATION. The paper that she used in here. And that one just opens like that. Cute cards, nice and easy. This one is also from Candace. This one she used this. It's the paper that is the SALE-A-BRATION. But this one, how cute is that? She just put 3 strips of paper on a smaller square, wrapped a little piece of ribbon around it on an embossed panel, and away you go. Like, this is a very simple card. Great way to use up pieces of scrap. And this one, are you guys still with me? You guys hanging out? Do you like these cards? So I did. I signed up for another card swap. I think it's an addiction. I don't know. And this time I signed up for 3 sets. Oh my goodness. It was pretty so this one is from, who is this one from? Lori Callies. This one is using I think it's the paper that is the same. This is actually a stamp set that's in the mini catalog that's coming up. I think it's called Floral Delight or something like that. Very cute. I have had my eye on it, so we'll see. This one, oh my God, love it, love this one. I love these colors together, the Fresh Freezer and the Blackberry Bliss. This one is also from Lori. Look at how beautiful that is. So this is a SALE-A-BRATION set called Corners in Bloom, I think it's called. This one here. This is a $120 order qualifier to get those. There's several of those in that stamp set. And then look, just added that piece on the inside. Gorgeous. And this, I'm guessing she may have put like a adhesive back paper on there, because every time I use this stamp, I always lose the little dots to my eyes. All right, so this one is from CJ Hart. This one is very cool. This is one that I've actually made one of these cards. It's very cute. So this one actually it folds like this, and this is your card. So it's just, you cut a circle out or some kind of a shape, and then cut a larger circle and put your element in there. I made one of these for my friend Gail last year when I went to visit her in Florida, as a thank you for having me. I'll put that in there after. This is another one, Thinking of You. Who is this one from? This This one is also from CJ Hart. So this is another great way to use up your scraps. This is this is that paper that we were using. And then this is the layering leaves stamp, and this is the Starstruck embossing folder, and just a few embellishments down on the bottom there. Cute. Love it. And more mushrooms. So more mushrooms here. So this one is from Cynthia Howard. This is from North Dakota. This one opens this way with a little bit of that paper on the inside. Then she used like glimmer paper here. I don't know if you can you see that sparkle? Ooh, sparkle. Very cute. Love it. That one. I'm trying to keep them in order so that I can keep the artist, because that's what we are, right? We're artists. I'm an artist. B&D Crafts, thank you for joining. Thank you. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. I'm so glad that my channel was recommended to you. Very nice. So this is another swap card. This one is from Cynthia Howard. This is I don't remember the name of this one. I think this die cut is a stamp set that is in the mini catalog, and there is your SALE-A-BRATION. So with this one, not only did she use the die cut for the heart like we did today, but also the flowers from that are in there, and the leaves in that glimmer paper. Can you see that? Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And then the SALE-A-BRATION set for the Starstruck embossing folder. Cute. And just bringing a little bit. So that's another thing, like just instead of, you know, when you have paper like this, your designer series paper, or even if you have an embossed piece that's just, you know, was too big and you had to cut it down, use that scrap on the inside. Bring that element right to the inside. Oh, another one. I don't know what the Blackberry Bliss is, I think, my favorite. And like for any of you that know me, know like, this is the color of my car, and I love it so much. This one is from Gail Beth Rice, and she is using some beautiful, like, I think this is, I think it's the paper that is the SALE-A-BRATION. It's the paper that's a SALE-A-BRATION. I can't remember what the stamp set is. If there's any of these, if you guys are interested in any of these stamp sets at all that I'm showing that I don't know the name of, or you haven't seen me demonstrate with, let me know in the comments. If I don't know the name of it, I'll go looking for it. And if I don't have it, I may just need an excuse to buy it. So, and then this one is, this is a super cute fun fold. Thank you so much, you guys, for hanging in with me to go through these. It was so exciting for me to get these cards in the mail. It was so exciting. So this one is another flap fold, but instead of this way, it goes this way. So it opens like this and like this. And this is, so this one is also from Gail Beth Rice. And look at what she did in here. She used the embossed panel, but I don't know if you can see, she used the debossed side on here, it looks like. Or maybe not. I don't have this embossing folder. How cute is that? So gorgeous. Love it. Love it, love it. And I love those colors. And then this one is from Sue Ramden. This is a stamp set that I have been, it's in my wish list. I keep it, I have it. I'm like, oh, I got to get it. This right here. It is from a stamp set called Round We Go. And it makes this little medallion. How stinking cute is that? So this is one. This is actually card design that was that Sue Campfield did. I gotta bend it back. It's supposed to come out like this. So you bend it back. Oops, like that. So I think this one, it's not bending back because she did put that solid panel on the back, but these score marks here in the center is supposed to be so that it folds back so that you can do that. So it folds back and then opens like that. And I think Sue called this the, I don't know, the flying seagull card or something. Beautiful. And I love those colors. That's the SALE-A-BRATION embossing folder. More Blackberry Bliss. I am in heaven. This one is also from Sue. This one opens like this, little flap fold. Oops. Aren't those colors gorgeous? Oh, they're so beautiful. This one is using, yeah, I don't know. She put a, this is from Luann Peterson. So I remember when I watched Rachel's video showing all of us, her swaps, those of us who were in the swap, there was something specific about the way that this artist did those butterflies. They look like they're three-dimensionals, but they're not. They're glued down flat to the paper. So I think, oh, you know what I think she might have done there? I think that might be paper stacking. So I don't know if you guys know paper stacking. Paper stacking is basically when you take, like if you stamp, if you die cut an image, you die cut a butterfly, and then you die cut, you know, a backing piece. So you die cut multiple pieces out of the same die cut. So like just as a bad example, this one, if I did like 3 or 4 of these, you glue these together and it just makes it a thicker piece. And it looks like that may have been what she did here. I don't know. But obviously I don't want to take it apart, but cute. That one's cute. And then this one. This one, I think it's that paper that is the SALE-A-BRATION. This is using those hearts again. Most Adored or something like that. I don't remember. I don't have this one, but this heart, this die actually makes that beautiful stitching in there. Love it. This one just opens this way. Same thing. See how beautiful that is? The inside of the card is just as beautiful as the outside of the card. Love it. Then this one is from Anita Dixon. Oh, and she's calling this the triangle background technique. I don't know how that actually works, but I will have to try to figure that out. But it's like each one of these are just separate pieces of paper that she put on there. And I just don't know how she cut well, that looks like a triangle there and a triangle there. And then, so, all right, I see how, all right. Very cute, very unique. I have not seen one like that before. So that's really cute. And then the last one. Thank you so much for sticking around with me. All right. So the last one is also from Anita Dixon. And it's using the, I think it's this Bloom Impressions is the SALE-A-BRATION. But how cute is that with that? I think that's Summer Splash paper. Is that, oh, did she put some splash? Yes, Summer Splash and Lemon Lolly. I'm not a huge fan of the yellow, the big yellow cards and stuff, but this one having that Summer Splash in there, picking up that Summer Splash that's in that paper looks really nice. And she used the Forever Plaid embossing folder. And look, when she did her embossing folder, it's not an embossed layer. She actually embossed the whole card front. So when you open up the inside of the card, you see that beautiful embossing on the inside of the card too. How cute is that? So that's it. That's all of my cards. I'm so excited. And this is the one, just as a reminder, this is the one. I'm going to try to link Rachel's video so that you can do the mystery stamping with her. Although I guess it's not really a mystery if you know what the card looks like now, right? Anyway, I'm so excited that this card inspired her. I have another card swap to do in January. I love sharing these cards with you. Let me just flip back to the laptop camera so that I can say goodbye to you. And here I am. Thank you so much for joining. I am so sorry that we went over. I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching these. These card swaps are super fun. And if you ever have the chance to join one, I would recommend doing it. It's it's so fun, and you get all of this wonderful inspiration back that you can show your friends. You can make cards that look just like this. It's super inspiring just to see what other people do with the same products. Like I have a lot of these products, and some of the stuff I didn't think to do or to use this way. So um thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for following me. And remember, if you're watching over on YouTube, click that subscribe button. Tell your friends about my channel. And I hope you all have a fabulous day. And I will see you next week. Bye.